If you're into anime, you've probably heard a lot about the God of Highschool. And if you're like a pro anime lover, you've probably seen the first season of the God of Highschool already. But if you're a veteran anime lover like me, a veteran who has seen most of the big titles and knows a thing or two about anime, but still has a lot of good old titles on their watch list that they need to catch up to, if that's you, then you're probably always in a dilemma of whether you should watch the new anime that's getting really hyped or watch that old anime that you know is going to be good. So for those veterans, I'm here today to answer this question: should you watch the God of Highschool? Well, with the intro being done, my name is Ritik, and yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to judge this anime based on its story, its art, and its characters. But before I delve into what's wrong and what's not, let's get this hype thing out of the way first. You've probably seen a lot of anime get hyped before, but usually animes that get hyped either because of their story or some characters or art design or stuff that really matters. But God of Highschool got hyped because unlike most animes that have a Japanese origin, the God of Highschool had a Korean origin. If you're going to watch the God of Highschool because of all the hype, you're probably going to get disappointed. Also, before I start reviewing, a side note, I'm going to make some comments about this anime that some people might not like.
Okay folks, if you don't see me again, it's cause I'm dead.
The God of Highschool is a tournament held in Korea, and anyone who wins that tournament gets one wish granted by a mysterious organization that's running this tournament. Our main characters are Jin, Devi, and Yumira, who join this tournament so they can win and get their wishes granted. While our main antagonist is a cult that, let's just say, is against all this. So far so good, the story sounds interesting because for anime lovers, tournament arc is the kind of shit that makes us wet. So where does the story go wrong? The story is all over the place and has absolutely no structure at all. The problem is not with the story, the problem is how they tell it. Think of it this way, you start watching a show and the show gradually starts revealing things to you so you can comprehend them little by little. The God of Highschool doesn't do that. It just throws everything at you randomly, but if the story's all over the place, then why watch it? The only reason to watch this season is fights. The fights are, as I like to say it, straight up amazing. You watch the first match and it makes you want to watch the second one. You watch the second match and it makes you want to watch the third one, and it keeps going on and you keep watching the show episode after episode. So, do they fuck up the fights? Almost no. Almost. The story is so loose that the fights get a little affected by it as well. I'll put it this way. This is your typical anime. You start watching it and at the beginning the fights are grounded, and then they gradually get to a normal level. And then from that normal level, they even more slowly get to a god level, where you have a nine-tailed fox fighting a Susanoo. But in the God of Highschool, you start with ground level fights. There's taijutsu like taekwondo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, tai chi. Then you gradually go up to normal fights. But then, suddenly, you're seeing god level fights. And that just makes watching this show really confusing. Another thing that could kill a little bit of vibe is the talking they do between the fights. I'll put it this way, I just saw a character for the first time, like 2 minutes ago. This character starts fighting with our main character. The fight is going amazing, I'm really hooked, and then in the middle of this amazing fight, they start telling me the backstory of the side character.
I was just disgusted.
The character who literally has 9 minutes of screen time, I don't want to know his backstory. I want to know the backstory of the main characters. Which brings me to my next point. So our main character is Jin Mori. You'll want to know his backstory, the backstory of why he is fighting. But all you get to know is that this guy's grandfather used to be some strong hotshot who left him while he was little, and that's why he wants to fight. And this is literally the only backstory you get for the entire season. And that makes it very difficult to connect with him. I'll put it this way. You're watching Naruto. You see something bad happen with the people Naruto loves. You see Naruto get sad. It makes you sad. You see Naruto get angry, it makes you angry. Or the first season of Re:Zero. You see Subaru do everything he can and you feel connected with him. And all that just doesn't happen with the God of High School. At least in the first season. In short, character depth in the anime is close to none. But there is a character that I genuinely liked, and that was Davy, the cool guy. He needs money because someone he loves is dying, and that's why he fights, and that's pretty justified. Then there is the useless female protagonist. Don't get me wrong, I am not gay. But it's just how the story has been crafted. It's crafted in such a way that it leaves the main female protagonist useless, like most other female protagonists. The opening is so good that the song is stuck in my head. But other than the opening, the music is pretty okay. It depends on the episode. I love what they do with the music in the last few episodes and how the music affects the fights. But other than that, there wasn't anything significant that I'll remember or want to listen to again. Coming to the art. Art is probably the strongest suit of this anime. They use motion capture for fights and the anime is mostly 2D, but there are some CG background elements, or at least they look CG to me. The characters get shot when the show wants you to giggle, so that's good as well. So far from what I've told you, you're probably still confused as to whether you should watch the God of High School or not. It's because the God of High School is a confusing anime. I want to love this anime because if more people like it, more Korean manhwas will get adaptations, and if more manhwas get adaptations, we'll have more content to watch. I know that's not helping at all, but I'll put it this way. Blah blah blah. Good fights. Watch if you want to see good fights. Blah blah blah. I really wish that the God of High School turns out to be one of those shows where you watch the first few episodes or the first season and you're like, that makes absolutely no sense. And then the story progresses and you watch the second season or the third and you're like, oh, so that character did that thing in the first season because of this. This show is fucking genius. Well, that's all for this video. You know the whole subscribe because I make videos like this every week drill. Also, please tell me if you want me to review any other anime in the comment section. I'll probably review Rent a Girlfriend, but I feel like it's already gone out of trend. So that's been it. Thank you for watching. Peace.